Hello, everyone. This is the weekly review for U.S. history from January 25th to January 29th, as we were exploring the Roaring Twenties. We started the week with a writing prompt that asked students to separate the nouns and verbs of the indicator we'd be working on. The indicator was to analyze and critique major historical eras, major enduring themes, turning points, events, consequences, and people in the history of the United States and the world in the implications for the present and future. We covered a short reading and video that explained the beginning of popular entertainment in the 1920s, including Hollywood movies with stars such as Charlie Chaplin and Clara Bow. Our four-class focus was perseverance. We started focusing on this executive functioning skill. Perseverance meaning that you're trying even when things are difficult. So that's what everybody was encouraged to do during the course of this week. We had a second writing prompt that asked students to look up definitions of terms that we would need to know from the indicator. The indicator that was mentioned in a previous slide, terms such as turning point, historical theme, and consequence. We then launched into some in-class work where students were asked to list examples of people, events, eras, themes, turning points, and consequences from the 1920s into a graphic organizer like the one seen here on the left. And then this was going to help you to both analyze and critique those eras and themes based on our examination of the 1920s. We reviewed historical eras and themes from a document in Google Classroom. Examples of eras included the 1920s, prosperity and problems, and Civil War and Reconstruction from 1850 to 1877. Those are just a couple of examples from a long list of historical eras from United States history. And we also talked about examples of themes that included things like individuals, groups, and institutions, or culture. Also came from a lengthy list of various themes from U.S. history. We had a second reading and videos on cars and planes that included such topics as mass production, like the Ford assembly line and making automobiles, and also talked about transatlantic flight and the success of Charles Lindbergh flying in the Spirit of St. Louis across the Atlantic Ocean. We talked about our first formative assessment. We worked together on creating it. We thought about how best to meet the following criteria. I can recall and describe the who, what, where, and when of a particular era. I can describe what a theme, turning point, cause and effect, or an event is. Only ones that apply to a particular unit. In this case, we're really just focusing on the 1920s and U.S. history. I can describe key parts of the particular era. I can paraphrase and summarize the events in a particular era. I can show, diagram, or chart the events in a particular era in relation to a theme, turning points, cause, and effect. So we talked about how best to do that, and you can see from this example on the left that we collectively decided that a slideshow with various slides where you would do this work was the best thing we could come up with for now. What's coming up next? We're going to continue to work on that formative assessment because we came to a decision that next Wednesday would be a reasonable due date for it. We're going to continue the exploration of the 1920s era, including things like social changes around the expectation of the behavior of women, such as flappers. That's it for now. Take care.